Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to cover off policy templates for Flexera 1 CCO, how they are used, how they're constructed, and the resources to use them. So let's start with the resources. I suggest using our github.com/Flexera-public. In here, you will find policy templates. These are all of our existing templates, which means that you can go through here and take a look. So for example, if you clicked on costs, AWS, you will see all the current AWS cost templates and policies that are available. These are the same as the ones that are deployed and available within the Flexera 1 CCO automation page. I will log in to show you. So if I go back to the policy templates, you'll see here we have right size RDS instances, S3 bucket sizing, lifecycle, and so forth. So all of this is available. Feel free to copy these down. You can modify these and use these within the platform as well. Now, in each of our policies, we will have 3 to 4 files. We will always have a change log, which just goes through any updates that are made to the policy itself. A README on what it does, what it can do, what it can't do, what it's not used for, what it is used for, how it works, how the savings are set up, any parameters that can be used to configure, and the actions, etc. So all this is within the README documents. Then we'll have the policy template itself. And as we said, it's all code. So you can use this, you can modify these to meet your own requirements. The structure on all of these is very much the same. All right, so you'll always have this section here, which gives you a name, the versions, what it's used for. If it's a cost one, it's cost here. If it's operational, you change to operational, and you provide all the information. Parameters are areas within the policies where you can add, remove, change things. So for example, if I go to automation, catalog, and when this loads, I will choose right size EC2. When I hit apply, you'll see here, select account, skip instances, email address, exclusion tags will all be the same as here. So email address, account numbers, minimum savings, exclusion tags. So these are the parameters that you're seeing there. All right, so you can put in your parameters. This could be a drop-down list. This could be different actions, etc. We will always have authentication. All right, one for Flexera to be able to write back something into Flexera. So you may be going out and pulling data in. The other one is to authenticate to something, and that's your outbound. So in this instance, we're saying let's use AWS authentication to connect to AWS to pull some data in, and this is writing back into Flexera. Pagination is AWS, Azure, GCP, etc. pagination, just to make sure that if there is more than an X amount of items and there's pages, it'll keep going to the next item. And then you have all your different data sources and scripts. Now, these policies can get very wildly and very long, but you can make them as simple as you like as well. Now, so that's the third file. The fourth file, which sometimes exists in these policies, is what's called a Metaparent policy. Now, the Metaparent policy is not there for you to modify and change. It is generated when you want to be able to run a policy template against multiple subscriptions. So for example, you've attached your master payer account from AWS and you have 100 linked accounts. You don't want to apply a policy to every single account manually. So what you do is you run your Metaparent policy. For example, if I change this to Meta, right, you run your policy, and what that will do is it'll have the same information as the policy template itself. But what this does is manages the policy templates for each of the linked accounts. So it'll go through all the linked accounts and say, I need to create a policy template or a policy for this account. So it'll run it 100 times for you, so you don't have to run it manually. And if you make changes at the top, it can make changes to all those policy templates for you as well. It'll automatically bring all the data together for a recommendation for an incident and so forth. All right, so I use this resource a lot. I use this to modify some of these templates to do other things. So for example, I have a template which is end of support. All right, so here is mine. I managed to copy a different template just so that way I could build a new policy that would go out and tell me what RDS instance do I have running MySQL and PostgreSQL. Can I match it to a list of known end of standard support dates, which AWS provide in a HTML page. They don't provide it as a API to be able to pull that data in automatically. And then it aligns it to what you have within your environment and gives you an estimated cost if you don't do the upgrades. So this is a cost avoidance, versus a cost savings, but it becomes a part of the cost savings. All right, so you'll see very much the same structure, exactly the same. Now, the other resource that I recommend using within the Flexera-public GitHub repository is Policy Engine training. Okay, now the Policy Engine training will step you through lessons, so that way you can start to understand how it works, how the API works, pagination, so everything is in here. I recommend strongly to go through this whole training, and this will be a step-by-step. There's no videos, but it'll give you images on how things work. It'll give you information about the basics and what to do, and then it'll give you practical examples to walk through. So that way you can start to test these out to build them yourself and give you the confidence to start modifying and creating additional templates. All right. If you do require further documentation, we do have documents that are, Flexera, policy template language. And this walks you through a lot of the items that will be already covered in the training, but it'll give you the syntax, it'll give you parameters, permissions. So everything is listed here, so you can start to see how it works. My recommendation is utilize the Git repository we have, use the Git repo for training, so that way you can understand it. Use our right scale documents here to go through all the metadata. This should give you a solid foundation to begin working with policy templates. So that way you can start to modify, create your own, manage them, and troubleshoot them if need be. Right, so for example, ones that I have been working on, I don't have any in this environment, but I'm working on an additional policy to go out to a S3 bucket to pull in data for VMware right-sizing recommendations. So I can push the data from a VMware environment to the platform, which I have done here. And so I have cost data coming in. The next step is to capture the CPU and memory averages for the last 30 days and also the peak in the last 30 days, which I have done. All right, and then the final step is that policy template to capture that CSV file, pull that data in, and then generate a recommendation just like you would do for an EC2 instance or Azure Compute instance. The difference will be is that you could separate this into memory only, CPU only, because you can adjust either. You don't have to adjust it by node size. You can adjust both. And then to work out what is the next thing that we need to be able to adjust, which is, say, VMs that have been turned off for over X amount of time with a recommendation to delete. So this is all possible within the policy template. Other possibilities are going out to, say, your ServiceNow, your Jira's, your Remedies, and pushing data in, pulling data out. If there's a REST API available to the policy engine, we can go capture data or push data in as well. Right. I do hope that this has been helpful. Again, github.com/Flexera-public is a great resource because you have your policy development lessons, you have all the policy templates as well. So I leverage all of that to be able to write my own ones as well, because it's already, a lot of it's already done. It's just a matter of reusing what is there already. All right, thank you for watching.